Me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucks, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you, Pat Porter. And this is Jason Alessi. Welcome to the home team. Paul Porter is off this week, taking it easy, but I'm happy to be joined by our good friend and regular caller, Marshall O'Shields. Marshall, how you doing?
Good morning. Great. I can't believe Paul wouldn't want to be here today. I'm sure he does, but what a great day. Football is finally back for real. Last week was like a tune-up and like a practice, but this week we got everything. We got all the college football, and the NCAA did us all a favor and gave us good matchups all throughout the day. They timed it out right, and they've had great matchups already on Thursday and Friday night.
Yes, they had. This is a monster opening week of college football. We are going to touch on all the games, a ton of top ranked matchups, and we're also going to talk about that huge win for USF on Thursday night. We're going to get to all of that. But, we're going to start, though, with the Bucks. Obviously, a week from tomorrow, the Bucks will open their season in Atlanta against the Falcons. It's going to be a big-time game. They're, opening in the division against a team that beat them twice last year. So you want to, for nothing else, you get revenge there. You want to get off to a good start. Going in, there's obviously the Bucks, I think, have high expectations again. And this is the best stretch they've ever had in their history. They've made the postseason 5 consecutive years. They're still not that far removed from winning a Super Bowl. They have one of the best offenses in the league. And frankly, I think it could, by the end of it, could be the best offense in the league this year. They have so many weapons on offense, especially at the wide receiver unit. Baker Mayfield has had the best 2 seasons of his career playing here. And I think the key is, and I think most people would agree with this, the defense. If the defense can improve just a little bit, they really took a step backwards last year. Kind of surprising because when you think of the Bucs through the years, you always think about the defense, but they just weren't as good. Not against the rush, really not against. They didn't have as much good a pass rush. The secondary wasn't able to hold up as well. So that's the area of improvement I think they need. And if they can improve that just a little bit, there's no reason to me why this team is not a Super Bowl contender.
Well, I really don't like this matchup in the first week. I don't like opening up against your division rival that beat you twice last year and has gotten better. This is a scary game to open it. I really like to have 1 or 2 under the belt before we play this game, but I know you get to see them twice. But to come out in the first game of the season, there's a lot on this game right here. There's a lot on this game. You're going to either make a statement or you're going to fall almost 2 games behind in the division early because when you lose to somebody, now you're down the tiebreaker. So it's a big game to start off the season. I know both teams are going to be ready to play. The good thing is everybody's healthy because last year you talked about the defense. Biggest problem was they couldn't stay on the field. Vita Vea was off the field for your best defensive player was off the field for a lot of the season. You just couldn't stay healthy. And that's the way it is with a lot of teams, but we'll see. Hopefully they got a little bit more depth now and they can make some plays on defense and change things up.
Looking in the division, Atlanta is the only team I think that could give them any kind of a threat. Carolina got better a little bit. they're not there yet. The Saints, I think, are going to be really bad this year. I just think the Saints are in complete rebuilding mode. They don't have a quarterback.
Spencer Rattler is not an NFL quarterback.
No. I mean, they drafted a Tyler Shuck out of Louisville, but I don't know that he's going to be ready. It's first-year coach in Kellen Moore there, so I think they're going to have their struggles. Carolina is still rebuilding. Atlanta's the one team in that division that could give the Bucs some trouble, and obviously, again, they beat us twice last year, so it's going to be a tough game. Looking at the first 4 games, it's a tough start. The second game at Houston, playoff team. Third game against the Matt's Jets. He's sporting, I don't know, home team. He's sporting an enemy jersey over there, but that's normal. We get used to that.
Thank God for the third game, because they could be 0-2. Thank God for the Jets game, because that's a guaranteed win.
That should be a definite win there. And then you play the defending Super Bowl champions Philadelphia.
That's what I say. You could be 1-3 out of the first quarter of the season. No problem.
And you're hoping to come out of that at least 2-2. It's funny, the Bucs, each of the last 2 seasons have gotten off to good starts. Then they went on a mid-season slump where they actually fell below 500 and had to rally the second half of the season, to make the playoffs.
They
did a good job.
They got it set up the same way this year, because if I'm not mistaken, they got Carolina and New Orleans kind of later in the season.
Right.
So you got some, you could go on that 5 or 6 game win streak at the end like they did last year. No problem.
You just hope that they can avoid that kind of slump, though, at any point in the season. I mean, you certainly don't want to start the season in a bad way, and you don't want to go into a slump in the middle, and certainly not at the end.
Well, we can confirm this, that they play Carolina twice in the last 3 weeks.
Right. That's what I thought. That's why I said you could get on a roll.
Week before Christmas is at Carolina. Sunday after Christmas is at Miami. And then the last game of the season, Carolina here at Ray J.
Yeah. So, like I said, you got a chance to finish strong. But I agree with Jason. Just avoid those 3 or 4 games stretches where you take you have some off days and you go on a streak where you lose 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
If you can just kind of be consistent and beat the teams you're supposed to beat, you're probably going to win the division. If you can beat the Falcons twice, you're going to win the division. If you split with them, it's probably up in the air as far as winning the division. But, I mean, you could take control right out the gate with this first game, I think.
I'm looking at on defense some of the younger players that you're hoping takes the next step. Kalijah Cansey, Yaya Diaby, Logan Hall, players like that. I think in the secondary, we saw a guy like Zion McCullum kind of step up his game and improve some. Of course, Antoine Winfield and Jamel Dean were injured a lot last year. You hope that they can stay healthy. I was impressed looking in the preseason from the rookie out of Kansas State, Jacob Parrish, in the secondary. That guy looked good. I thought he looked very impressive there. And so I think he's one that could step up. It's too bad we didn't get to see some of Benjamin Morrison, who's the cornerback they took out of Notre Dame. They have kind of high expectations for him, but he was injured, and he really haven't seen any of him thus far.
I still think it goes back to the line. If they can get pressure, the secondary gets that much better.
They got no
pressure last year. They had no.
They brought in Hassan Reddick. Okay, yep. So try to help out there. You still got Vita Vea. There's the other linebacker, Servassier Dennis. I think he was one of them that was injured. Levante David, this is probably going to be his last year.
I think he said he only came back because he thought they really had a chance this year.
Yeah.
So he must feel really good about that.
He's still playing at a top-notch level, even at 35, 36, however old he is. So, he's going to be a great player, but this is probably going to be his last season. But, you want those younger players. There was a guy, we let go Tryon Shoyinka. He never became the player that we expected from. You're hoping that that's not going to be the case with guys like Cansey and Diaby and also Logan Hall. I think Logan Hall, this is his 4th season he's going in. He's one of those guys on the line needs to pick up and play.
I got to ask you this question though, because we talked about this a long time, and I always said he was not good and terrible and everything else like I think he was. But you were a big Kyle Trask guy. You like Trask, and I'm just curious what they finally let him go.
I was going to bring that up, I think that they made the right decision in going with Bridgewater. Kyle Trask was someone. He had a very good college career at Florida. He never developed the way the Bucs thought he was. And I think the telling thing there was when Tom Brady was still the quarterback and Kyle Trask couldn't beat out Blaine Gabbert to be the backup then. Now, Blaine Gabbert obviously had starting experience, but he was never very good.
And if you couldn't learn under Brady, I mean, you didn't show anything after playing under him for a year.
And granted, and some would argue, well, you only saw Kyle Trask in the preseason. You never got a chance to see what he could do during the regular season in a meaningful game. But I think part of that is the coaches obviously saw something in practice.
That's why he never saw the field.
That he wasn't developing in certain areas that they thought he should. And I think they were hesitant to, I know when they brought in Baker Mayfield in 2023, they initially said it was an open competition at first. But of course, they went with Mayfield, given that, his starter experience.
Yeah.
And obviously that has worked out great. But yeah, Kyle Trask just hasn't developed. And I think the situation with Bridgewater, I was wondering at Bridgewater at this point in his career, having not had significant playing time, how effective he might be. Well, in the one time we saw him in the second preseason game, to me, he looked like he didn't miss a beat. He was very calm. He was collected. Everything came easy to him, made good throws through 2 great touchdown passes in a very, very narrow window to the receivers. And when I saw that, I said, oh boy. Well, I mean, this guy's still got it. And I think, if, God forbid, Baker Mayfield has to miss some time, who would you feel more comfortable with filling in and giving you a best chance to win? Teddy Bridgewater or Kyle Trask?
Well,
I think clearly it's Bridgewater.
I think that what they're showing now is the NFL is trending, and I heard some guys talking about this week, on backup quarterback is a way more important position than people think it is.
Sure it is.
Because your season was over if Baker went down and Kyle Trask was your backup. I don't care what anybody said. Your season was over. Maybe you squeak in the playoffs. Maybe you win a first-round game. Maybe. But when you don't have your guy, and guys like Joe Flacco and Bridgewater and guys like that have proven that they can come in and keep your team going, or keep the direction of your team going and the confidence level of your team behind them. And I think they finally found that in Bridgewater. I just don't think for the last few years they found a guy that they thought was capable of doing that role. Now they have it.
Well, they do.
I don't think they'll lose a whole lot if Bridgewater has to take over.
Well,
obviously, Baker's a better player in his prime right now, but they got that guy now in case something happens.
Well, and the great thing about this, we were talking to Corey Long, a sports analyst, a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned about Kyle Trask. This was probably going to be Kyle Trask last season with the Bucs anyway. He was going to probably look to explore other options with other teams to see if he could get in there and have a better chance of starting somewhere else. With Bridgewater at this point in his career, I think Bridgewater is fine being the backup, and he could be our backup really for the next couple of years. Mm-hmm. Okay, he could be that guy. And you remember, I mean, at the beginning of his season, or the beginning of his career in Minnesota, he led them to the playoffs. He was having a very good start to his career, and then unfortunately he had a very bad knee injury, which derailed things for him a bit. But he's bounced around. I know he filled in New Orleans. He played some when Drew Brees was out. He won him some games there. He's just a guy.
The good thing also about the backup quarterback is, like a guy like Bridgewater right now, he's healthy. Yeah. He's healthy because he hasn't played. He hasn't taken the licks. He hasn't gotten beat up over the last couple of years.
He's coaching high school.
He's ready to go. That's what I said. He's ready to go.
Yeah. So I think that was definitely the right decision by the Bucs, obviously, to first bring him in and now to go with him over Kyle Trask. Some of the other one of the other cuts that was made, the wide receiver Trey Palmer, who he had some flashes here and there. He's a speedster. He was, he's very quick. He had a great playoff game, the 2023 season, the playoff game against the Eagles, where the Bucs beat them, and he had, I think, a few touchdown catches in that game. But overall, maybe not as consistent as they wanted. And plus, look at all the depth they've got.
I think he was just a victim of they got better players. That's all.
I mean, when you think about it, we still got Evans. You got Chris Godwin coming back. And Emeka Egbuka, everyone is excited about him and the potential for him to be a real star in this league. And looking at preseason, a guy like Ryan Miller, who seemed to catch everything that was thrown at him. I mean, maybe he's not the fastest guy, but boy, he's got good hands.
He's that guy that can get open.
Yes.
He'll find a way to get open. You just know those guys like him find a way to get open.
I know, and Jalen McMillan, who had a good rookie season last year. Of course, unfortunately, he got injured in a play, but he might miss a little time. But he'll hopefully be back soon. So I think the Bucs. What in your opinion would be considered a successful season, given that the Bucs have made the playoffs so many times in a row? What's going to be? I mean, is it just making the playoffs? Do they need to advance far in the playoffs? What do you think they should do to call it a success?
They got to at least win 11 games this year. I don't think they can sneak in again with a 9-8 or an 8-9 and win the crappy division. I think they need to win 11 or 12 games. And I think that if they could get to the NFC Championship game, that's where I see them. That's the caliber. Yeah. They're right there, I think, with Washington. They're right there with Philadelphia. I think those teams, the Detroit's, those four right there, I think, are the best four teams in the NFC.
Yeah, and I agree. I think they need to at least get past the first round. When you get into the playoffs, you're playing against a lot of good competition, kind of the best of the best. But to me, they are good enough. Their defense kind of let them down last year, but if everyone can stay healthy, I do look for them. I think they can make a run. I think they can be one of the teams there. We're going to hit a break right now, but before we do, I'm going to give out the phone numbers. Please call in. 727-441-3000, the 727-441-3000. Also going to mention, we're going to do the contest this week. Is going to be the Florida State-Alabama game. That's today at 3:30. That's going to be our contest, and we're going to get a lot of college football talk when we get back right here on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
For the first time ever, the Home Team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. Celebrate the end of summer with Threshers Baseball and our largest and last fireworks show of the season. On Saturday, September 6th, enjoy the Clearwater Threshers' last homestand of the summer and spectacular fireworks display over Baycare Ballpark after the game. It's the largest and last fireworks show of the summer on the first Saturday in September. Tickets and information at threshersbaseball.com. Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Family owned and operated, T&D Golf on West Waters Avenue in Tampa is the place to find everything you need for your golfing experience at affordable prices. Club repair is available as well. As a longtime sponsor of the home team, T&D wants to make sure you get the very best quality at a price you can afford. Open at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half-mile west of Northdale, Mabry, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. T&D Golf, making golf affordable.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahai tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
And welcome back to the Father and Sons Windows and Doors home team. This is Jason Alessi. I'm happy to be joined today by Marshall Shields. Paul's taking this week off, but we're going to get to college football in a moment. Marshall, we got some people on watching us on Facebook Live.
Facebook
shout out
is
to
rolling today. You got John, Dave, DJ Bold, and Sherry all watching on Facebook Live. So we are rolling on Facebook Live today.
Rolling along. I'll give it the phone numbers again. We got open phone lines, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. Please give us a call. We are doing the Florida State-Alabama game today as our contest, the final score and halftime score. Before we get to the college stuff, real quick on the Rays. Got the win last night, 4-1 over the Washington Nationals. You know, despite the disappointing season, Marshall, I think there's a lot to look forward to for the future for the Rays. Obviously, starting with the new ownership. You know, we're going to get the Stu Sternberg era's going to come to an end. We're going to get new owners here who are committed, looks like, to keeping the team in the area, number one, first and foremost. But this team has some great young talent. Junior Caminero, Jonathan Aranda, Chandler Simpson. They just brought us Carson Williams, and of course, and hoping at some point to get our starting ace pitcher, Shane McClanahan, back healthy. Hasn't been able to do it the last 2 seasons, but I think there's a lot to look forward to for this team moving forward.
Yeah, I do too. And I think there's a couple things that are still happening with this team. It's very difficult. And some of these young guys are showing what they can do it. But when you have the situation like you have with Wander Franco, and that just sets your franchise back, because that was your Derek Jeter. That was your guy. You
invested a lot in him.
That was your guy that you groomed and built and everything like that. And he was starting to really tear it up. And he was going to be that guy that was going to hit third in your lineup for the next 10 years. He was your next Evan Longoria.
Right.
And when something like that blows up, you almost are starting from scratch again, trying to replace him.
Yeah.
And if you noticed, that's what they did all year. Taylor Wallace was playing short. They brought in the one guy that was hurt all year, Hassan Kim. And then he turned out to be, average at best. And, now he's hurt again. So it's like, you continually are rebuilding when you lose a player of that caliber to what happened. But I do think that the future is bright. They get back to a little normalcy next year, going back to the Trop.
Right.
This is going to be a tough season. All the rain issues, all the changing of time issues, long road trips, everything about this season spelled good luck. This is not going to be a successful season.
And obviously we hope with the new ownership that their philosophy is going to change. We hope that they're going to spend more money to keep these good players here for extended periods of time. When the player's contract is up or they're ready to, get a long-term deal, the idea is, well, we don't want to pay that, so we're just going to trade them away. We hope that whole philosophy is going to change, and that they'll also be more aggressive in looking at bringing in free agents, other guys, who they're willing to bring in to help this team. But I do think that there's a lot to be excited about with this Rays team moving forward. New ownership and a lot of talent as well.
Well, that would also explain why the Rays are opening up with 6 on the road to begin next season. The schedule is out for 2026.
Yes.
They start the season out with a 9-game road trip at St. Louis, at Milwaukee, and at Minnesota.
Give them time to fix the trop.
Exactly.
Make sure everything's right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's going to be good. And I'm sure everyone, I know that from a location wise, Steinbrenner Field is very convenient, but in the elements, anyone who criticized Tropicana Field loves Tropicana Field now.
You're going to be happy to go back. That's what I say.
No doubt about it. Give me air condition and roof cover all day long.
Yeah, and my $19 beer won't get warm in the first 5 minutes, or my soda ice won't be melting in my soda as I'm sitting out there. So it just was a situation where you're going to make the best of it, but it just wasn't going to work that good. It just hasn't. And
obviously the whole thing about them, well, if they had made the playoffs this year, they'd be playing at Steinbrenner. Well, that's not going to happen now. So
it sounded good in the beginning of the season when they were playing well, and before they had to. Again, I talked to you about this a while back. When you go on that long road trip that they had to go on, no team is built for that, and it just showed.
And not with the injuries,
they didn't have
like
the depth and the injuries, and they just weren't able to survive it. And they've had a decent season for what they've had.
Sure,
I liked a lot of the moves they made at the trade deadline.
And they
got better.
They could still finish over 500.
Sure.
They're only like 4 games behind 500 now with some team. So they finished right around 500 last year. So that's a decent. It's not like they've been terrible.
Right.
It's not like they're the Colorado Rockies or whoever. They have been competitive.
But I do have to say this. I think Shane McClanahan is finished. I don't think you can count on that guy anymore. I think they need to move on.
Yeah.
He's had too many setbacks, too many surgeries.
Yeah.
He's never going to be the same pitcher. He might come back, but he's not going to be your ace anymore. It's just not going to be that guy. I'm sorry.
We'll see what happens with that. But that's a shame because he looked like a very good player. They could be for years. But anyway, let's get to the big talk of the weekend, the college football. Let's start with Thursday night. Just a fantastic showing by USF, a 34-7 win over number 25 Boise State. A Boise State team that of course made the college football playoff last year. But even aside from that, I know Boise State lost a lot of players from that team, including their star running back Ashton Genty, who was a top pick. But Boise State, going back over 20 years, has been consistently among the best football programs in the country. And that's undeniable. They have had multiple 10 or more win seasons.
They're in the top 25 in the country in the last 20 years, for sure.
They finished undefeated a couple of times. They just are always, all they do is win. They've been consistently good. And USF going into that game, I felt, I think a lot of people felt they had a shot to win, or at least to keep it close. I don't think anyone could have imagined they would have been dominant like they were. They got off to a slow start. Boise State scored first, took the lead. USF was sloppy on offense at first with some penalties and some mistakes. But boy, once they got it going, and I'll tell you, just a great call on a fake punt.
The fake punt was amazing.
When they snuck in the backup quarterback, who's actually a true freshman, and no one noticed it, and he throws a bomb for a touchdown. That was ultimately the turning point of the game. And then after that, it was all USF.
What I saw in that game, I saw outstanding coaching, but on the USF sideline. And I saw patience waiting for the quarterback to make plays, which he did. They stayed with him. They have one of the few teams in the college football world that has a returning quarterback from last year.
Yes.
And the guy can play. And USF, frankly, they just look fast. They look fast against Boise. Like whenever there was plays happening, USF had guys getting there. Like the defense looked fast. They were hitting. They had some big hits that knocked balls loose. They were aggressive. They looked like they had it. They looked like they were playing the 8th game of the season. And that's odd when you're just getting things kicked off like that.
On offense, they move at a very fast pace. That's what the coach Alex Golish has brought to this program. He likes to go fast, keep the defense on their heels. That combined with the heat, down there, I think that definitely wore down Boise State. And you look at, and this was USF also. This was their first win against a ranked opponent, I believe, in 19 tries. They had lost a lot of games in a row to ranked teams. Certainly, it's the biggest win thus far in the Alex Golesh.
Well, I can tell you
era.
this: it opened some eyes in Miami and Florida.
Yes, it did.
I'll tell you that.
Well, and that's the thing. You're looking at the start to the season where it's Boise State, then at Florida, and at Miami. I think a lot of people were feeling, well, this team's going to go. They're going to start the season 0-3, and they better do well, come conference play, because that's kind of a rough way to start the season. I figured most people felt if they were going to get a win, their best shot would be against Boise State. But the fact that they didn't just win, they won dominant, emphatically. Now I do think that's kind of opened people's eyes and say, well, now wait a minute. It's I know it's you don't say that they're going to necessarily go in and beat a Florida or Miami, but could they give them all they can handle? Can they keep it close going into the fourth quarter? I think absolutely they can.
Well, now your job as a coach is, you've got like 8-9 days to get ready, but now you got to get your guys ready to play the next game and not get them too cocky and not say, oh, look at us. We beat this top 25 team at our place. We're something. You got to come out with that same fight, hunger, everything you had in the very first game. And that as a coach is what's hard to do.
It is.
Get your players up in that attitude for every game.
It'll be easier the fact that they're playing a Florida and a Miami,
so
as opposed to playing a team that this is a perfect letdown.
Right.
Well, that against Florida, Miami, it's not going to be any letdown. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be excited. So we'll see what happens. You don't want to get too much ahead of yourselves. It is one game.
Props to the program for putting that schedule together.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to put yourself on the map. That's the way you do it, right there.
You play the best. You want to be one of the best. You have to play the best and beat the best. And that was a statement win there for USF. You figure they've gone. They were 7-6 in Alex Golesh's first 2 years. I was hoping last season they would make more improvement than they did, but they lost the quarterback. They lost Byron Brown for an extended period of time. That played a factor. We saw this game just how much he means to that team and that offense. The guy's a playmaker. He can do it with his arm. He can do it with his legs. He's a strong player.
Well, you watch just in the first couple of games we watched in the first few weeks. College football has come to the NFL is going that way, but it's more difficult. But college football is all about the quarterback that can move.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the guy from Georgia Tech last night just tearing
Brent
it up.
Keys
You
against Colorado.
saw the Iowa State, Kansas State game. The quarterbacks are making plays with their legs.
Yes.
Because that's the one thing that's the hardest to defense. You've done a great job breaking down a pass play for 5 or 6 seconds, and then all of a sudden the guy gets out and has got a lane to run and gains 25 yards. It's demoralizing, but that's what college football has turned into. You got to have that guy. I mean, Baker Mayfield has brought that aspect to the Bucs.
Yes,
I mean, look at the great teams now, the Josh Allens, guys
Lamar
like
Jackson,
that, Lamar
others,
Jacksons. Those are the guys you got to have now in order to break down defenses, because the athletes are so good to make plays. So, in college football, if you don't have a mobile quarterback, I think you're in trouble. I mean, you're just not going to be as good.
That's a good point. So that was a great win for USF. And you hope it can continue. I mean, I think going in, you figure with those 3 games to start the schedule, a lot of people felt if they could get just at least one win, that would be fantastic. I mean, to get one win. Now, though, you might get a little greedy, but you say, well, wait a minute. If we beat Boise State by that amount, it's not an automatic that we can't beat a Florida or can't beat Miami. It's going to be difficult. I mean, certainly, Florida and Miami are viewed as I think projected to be better teams than Boise State, and it is on their home field. But nonetheless, I think that's got to give the team confidence going forward. And not to mention the fact that last year, USF was pretty competitive against Alabama and against Miami. Alabama, they went into the fourth quarter. Miami, they were competitive at least through the first half. So they played top programs last year and did fairly well.
Yeah, you and I, we had a conversation before we came on, and you just brought it up, like project them. They're projected to do well this year. They're projected. Can we really project college football anymore with all the changes? Nobody can keep track. Nobody knows who went. Last year, I loved the spot they did on game day when they would run the slot machine thing with the quarterbacks, and you'd have to say where he was before or where he's going now, because it's just crazy with all the stuff that's going on, and it's changed the game.
The transfer portal, allowing a player to transfer after every single season, certainly it does change things. And now, you could potentially have a guy play 4 years of college football in four different teams.
Well, I would just like to hear.
I don't like that.
I would just like to let them ban announcing where these guys were from. Because you know what? I don't care where they were from.
Yeah.
They're now at my program or your program, or they're at Alabama, they're at Florida State. They're not there anymore. So I don't care where they were. But every play that's made on the field, they now say, and play made by the transfer from Tennessee, such and such, or the transfer from USC at UCLA, now at Florida. I'm just sick of that. I don't care. They don't play there anymore. Don't tell me where they were.
On one hand, the transfer portal freedom gives teams that weren't as good the previous year a chance to reload in a hurry. Of course, the other side to that is teams that were really good and were counting on some of those players to return the following year might lose.
They can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It works both ways. We're going to hit a break, but we'll be back again, touching more on the big matchups there. But please call in. We've got phone lines available: 727-441-3000. We're going to be back right after this on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350. FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying there's no place like this place any place else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks in one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the Home Team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct price pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
If you fishermen and ladies need anything for your fishing enjoyment, you'll find it at Bet's Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton and Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Daiwa, frozen bait for saltwater fishing, clothing from Avco and Skinny Water Culture, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Bet's Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
And welcome back to the home team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields. And we got big college football talk going on. Did you say someone was had a score for us?
Yeah, we're ready to go and roll in the contest.
Let's get the contest.
It's the State and Alabama.
So who's got the
John
first
has the first score of 31-21 Alabama.
Is this John from
just John?
Yeah, probably from Clearwater. Yeah. Okay. So it's who was he?
31-21 Alabama, and then 17-10 at halftime.
Let me put 31-21 Alabama and 17-10 at the half. Okay.
Yep. And you can.
Yep. Got it right there. Okay. So, thank you. And then, Larry Collins is on Facebook joining us. Larry, good to see you listening to the show. Yeah, please call in if you like. Yeah. I think it's Larry's always mowing his yard, always doing yard work at the time. But thank you. Anyway,
so you got a lot of storylines on these college football games today. So we can go, one after the other. Right now, we're sitting here watching, Lee Corso,
Lee Corso, yes,
and everything that's going on is about him, and it's probably like one of the greatest college football days ever. In order to praise a guy like that and see how good he looks at 90 years old.
Yep.
And to see him back to where he started on game day and who he's picked the most, which is Ohio State. And I can't imagine him not picking Ohio State again today as the home team. And again, 1-2 matchup. So, what a great way for him to go out. It's just been an amazing run. Can't say enough about the guy and all the fans and all the signs and everything, all the shirts I'm seeing with everybody there wearing.
What a great sign, of course, had his all-time saying, "Not so fast, my friend. Who said you could leave?"
Yeah.
In terms of retiring. Yep. But hey, what a career, and good for. I didn't realize he's 90 years old.
90
I think you mentioned 90, but that's spectacular to still be doing it at this level, and good for him.
Yeah, and then in the 3:30 window, you got a nice matchup, the one you're doing the contest with. Florida State coming off a miserable season of 2-10 against an unsure Alabama team. They just named their quarterback. They lost their starting running back. They have a couple defensive players out. They're a big dog favorite. They're 14.5-point favorites at Tallahassee. You got a lot going on at Florida State. Mike Norvell is going to start feeling the heat. You brought in a quarterback from Boston College, Thomas Castellanos, that can move a little bit, but he's also kind of unproven. But he ended up talking smack, and he's already called out Alabama. One of the things he said was, you don't have Nick Saban on the sideline there to save you anymore. So why are you talking smack when you haven't even taken a snap yet?
Yeah.
And if you get drilled today, or you look anything like Ugalale did last year, and you start to tank,
that could backfire in a hurry.
Quick the wrong way.
The intriguing thing about this game with Florida State and Alabama is both coaches are on the hot seat. Obviously, Norvell after going 2-10 last year, but of course Caleb DeBoer in Alabama going 9-4. Now that sounds like a great record to most, not Alabama, especially not when all the success they had under Nick Saban. It's not going to be long. I mean, if he were to lose to Florida State in this game. Oh boy!
Yeah, well, I think
that could be. That could be over from those
I think the only thing that makes both these coaches okay today after this game is if it's a close game where Bama wins close, because then Alabama will be happy. Florida State will be happy. They're competitive again, even though you don't want it to be that way. But I got to say, after watching a non-competitive football team last year with a lack of talent, a lack of attitude, a team that hated each other, it finally came out through the coaching staff, all the coaches they had to change this year. And, the one thing I know is they'll be better coached this year. The Florida State will be better coached this year. Do they have the talent in the roster? I don't know, but we want to see compete effort. Seminole fans just want to see compete effort and maybe a little bit back to tradition. You got a new state. The stadium is almost new. It's been totally redone. It's going to look different. There's different color seats. They cut down 20,000 seats to make it a more intimate setting. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be packed today. It's a national game. It's going to be, like you said, a hot seat for both coaches. This is the way you want to start the season right here. Let's see what we got and let's go.
Let's go. I think we got Donald with us from Lutz on the phone. Donald, hello. Welcome to the home team.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, Donald. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I saw Larry on Facebook there, too. I remember Larry.
I know. It's been a long time since we talked to Larry. I mean, Larry, he calls from time to time, but I know it's funny. We always joke about he's doing his yard work. We call him.
Right.
Yep.
He used to bring his family to the Christmas.
Now I remember,
That's right.
Larry.
Oh,
now
yeah.
I just clicked in. Now I remember.
Yes, absolutely. No, very wonderful individual, wonderful family. So we're so glad he's watching us. Yep.
So I was out fishing yesterday, and I'm fishing tomorrow.
Okay, so skipping the day-to-day. Gotcha. Yeah. To take time to call us.
I'm going to hang out with Liz today. She's off today, so we're going to do some shopping and some stuff today. And I can't believe how late we slept. The dogs didn't even wake us up.
No, hey, you deserve that sometimes. Just good to sleep in. Yep. You got to. So what? So Don, now are you a college football fan? Are you going to be watching any of the games today, or?
No, I'm not a big college football fan. I mean, I will watch, the Gators every once in a while, and rooting for USF, and that was awesome. What a great win for them!
Yeah, that was wonderful to see that a win, a profound win like that, and also you think about on national TV. I mean, that was kind of the game that started this whole weekend. That Thursday night game. It was a 5:30 start. I think everyone who's a college football fan was watching that, and what a statement to make.
Yeah, that is great for our area and for USF. So that's good for them.
Definitely.
And
yeah.
I know you're a big USF fan. So
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Went there, graduated there, and so very excited.
As did I.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And any thoughts about the Bucs as they get ready to start the season next week?
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good season. I really do. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to they're going to make the playoffs again, possibly win the division again. So,
what would, in your opinion, Donald, what would constitute being a successful season? Do you think just winning the division again and making the playoffs would be satisfactory? Are you looking for more? Are you looking for them to go far in the playoffs this year?
I'm looking to go far. I would love to see 11 wins and at least make it through the second round. Mm-hmm. That would be a successful season. Make it through the second round of the playoffs. That would be a successful season.
All right, Donald, what do you got? You want to get in the contest today?
Yes.
We got Florida State, Alabama.
Yep. We got Alabama winning 28-13.
Okay. And at halftime?
And at halftime, it's going to be 14, Alabama 9.
Okay. Florida State. Okay, so got Alabama win. Okay, yep.
All right, well, tight lines out there, buddy. Good luck.
Absolutely, Donald.
I appreciate it. You guys take care and stay safe as always.
Thank you. You too. All right, buddy.
I got another score for you, Jason. Okay. We got RCM, of course.
Yep.
Actually may have it together this week. Has Bama 32.
Okay.
And Florida State 13.
Okay, 32-13.
16-7 at halftime.
And 16-7 at the half. Okay, thank you, RCM. Okay, so thus far, 3 picks. So I've been all tied thus far.
Oh, yes. But wait, there's more. We have somebody else on the phone line.
Okay.
John from Clearwater is on with us. John, you there?
Hey.
How are you guys?
Good, John. How you doing?
Good morning. All right, very good. I listened to a great interview with John Groot, Rondé Barber show. it was just fabulous. Talking about John Gruden and the defense that won that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And he said that Tristan Wirfs is the greatest football player in the NFL.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yes. John Gruden said number one for Tristan.
Well, I'm glad he gives the offensive lineman credit. I mean, that's the one thing when you're an offensive lineman, you don't get the credit you deserve. You don't, you're not able to get the the statistical numbers that the other major players from the major positions get. But you're so crucial to the game. And
right.
I think that Tristan Wirfs certainly is one of the very best linemen in the league. So I'm glad.
Just hope he's ready to go.
Left tackle. Yeah. He goes left tackle and right tackle.
Yeah.
And John Gruden said that would be great for the quarterback like Baker because he protects him so well.
Yes.
And he likes Baker a lot too. Yeah.
Baker's found a home. I think he's become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, he's showing you. It was a surprise when Cleveland took him number one overall to a lot of people, and of course, I think the Browns gave up on him too soon. That worked out well for the Bucs. But I think what we're seeing from Baker Mayfield now is why he was the number one pick. The guy is he's a great competitor. He can make every throw in the book, but he has the enthusiasm about him that rubs off on the rest of the team. He's a great leader.
Hey, I really like him too, John. I like Gruden a lot, but let's face it. I've listened to some of the podcasts. John Gruden is marketing himself right now. That's exactly what he is marketing himself to get back in the NFL. There is no doubt in my mind.
he does have an offensive mind that's pretty intense,
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
John, you picked Alabama in the game 31-21, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yep. So that's the game today. What any other games? You excited to watch?
Notre Dame, Miami.
Yes,
that's going to be awesome.
Tomorrow night. I actually picked one of my regular customers in the bakery. He's going to that game. He's a big Miami fan, and he was actually heading out to Miami this morning to get over there early. That's going to be tomorrow night, a number 6 versus number 10 matchup.
And then tonight, Jason, LSU Clemson, right?
Maybe the best game of the whole weekend.
Isn't that number 4 against number 2?
Number 4 versus number 9. But the interesting thing about it, Brian Kelly, of course, had also success at Notre Dame and Cincinnati before that. Going to LSU, obviously, big expectations. He has yet to win a season opener.
Yeah, well,
he lost a couple of them to Florida State,
and they're just not played well in the beginning.
No, they haven't. So this is a crucial. Clemson, a lot of people think with their returning talent, this is a return to prominence for them. Some people think they might be the best team in the country. Dabo Swinney is just he's established that program as one of the very best since he took over. So that could be the very best game. That's going to be outstanding tonight at 7:30.
It just makes the whole day. I mean, the whole day is great. And then tomorrow, you got Virginia Tech and South Carolina, and then you got the Miami and Notre Dame, and
then even Monday night, you got the intrigue, but with Bill Belichick, his debut at North Carolina as they take on TCU. So,
and I'm going to tell you this: I think Miami is a phony. I think their season last year, 9-4, hinged on winning a couple miracle games where they got some calls and they had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and he's gone. Of course, Notre Dame is a better team, and I think Notre Dame wins double digits in that game.
You have Carson Beck, the Georgia quarterback, the transfer, going into the season last year, I think Carson Beck was projected to be a Heisman Trophy favorite. He didn't have the season he was expecting. But still, he's very talented.
But he was also surrounded by way better talent when he was at Georgia. I mean, they were loaded when he was there.
In Miami, Miami again is a team. I think they lost 2 games last year. They were, or maybe they lost the bowl game, but some people felt they should have been in the college football playoff. They didn't handle their business at the end, losing that game to Syracuse, which knocked them out last year. But it's going to be interesting to see. That's the renewal of the Catholics versus the convicts game.
Yes. College football is great, and
Yes.
it's great to be back.
Isn't it great? Yes, it is.
It's so exciting.
We were just talking
really.
about that. They suck us in, and even all this transfer portal stuff
That's
that we
right.
all hate, but they still suck us in with our passion because we just love it so
John,
much.
thank you so much. We got to hit the top of the hour break, but
All
thank you
right.
so
Have a
much.
great
We'll
day.
talk to you next
Great
week.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
And we'll be back right after the second hour of the home team, the father and sons, windows and doors home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. Former Vice President Kamala Harris will still have protection, even though President Trump has canceled her Secret Service detail. CBS's Stacey Lynn has the latest.
According to the LA Times, the former vice president will now receive protection from the California Highway Patrol. California officials say they put a plan in place to provide Harris with dignitary protection after Trump said he's ending her extended detail.
A federal appeals court says many of President Trump's tariffs are illegal.
The court ruled the president had no legal right to declare national emergencies to impose the tariffs on almost every country. At the same time, the court left those tariffs in place, setting the stage for the administration to appeal to the Supreme Court. President Trump posting on social media he would indeed appeal, saying, if allowed to stand, this decision would literally destroy the United States of America. He added the U.S. will win, quote, with the help of the United States Supreme Court. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump is blocking some foreign aid that Congress has already approved. CBS's Erica Brown.
In a rarely used maneuver known as a pocket rescission, the president is looking to rescind nearly $5 billion in spending to the State Department and foreign aid. The move has prompted bipartisan pushback from Capitol Hill and concerns of an eventual government shutdown.
The manhunt for the father accused of killing his 3 young daughters in Washington state may have turned up something.
The FBI has been searching for 33-year-old Travis Decker since early June. He's the former soldier accused of killing his 3 daughters, 5, 8, and 9, and who is thought to have disappeared into the Cascades. Searchers discovered bones in the area of the Rock Island campground in Chelan County, where Decker's truck and his daughter's bodies were found back in June. An FBI spokesman said the bones were being analyzed, stating it is not known if Decker is alive or dead. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Minnesotans answer the call for help after this week's deadly church shooting in Minneapolis. More than 3,000 people signed up to donate blood. The BBC's Phil Mercer tells us about 3 brothers from Scotland who broke the record for rowing nonstop and unsupported across the Pacific Ocean.
About halfway across the ocean, there were violent storms. Lachlan McLean, who's 27, was washed overboard, but was lucky to have been tethered to his boat by a safety line. A cyclone forced them to make a major detour. Then there was sleep deprivation, and their rations were slowly dwindling. After a punishing yet exhilarating adventure, the McLean brothers said they were looking forward to pizza and a decent night's sleep.
In all, they spent 140 days at sea. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good?
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to Tan Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on Tan Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM every Thursday from 4 to 5. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Peronick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman.
Hey, Kenny here with the Brian Cash Claus Coupon Book. Tune in every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals from restaurants to services in our area. And if you're interested in creating excitement through branding your business locally, give us a call here at the Brian Cash Claus Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. We'll see you right here at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Are you a writer, inventor? Do you have questions about your intellectual property rights? Well, tune in every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 11 o'clock for Joy on Paper. Once a month, I will have a special guest, the writer's legal eagle, Bill Larson of Larson & Larson, who can answer your questions. Protect your valuable work. Email me your questions to patsy.radio@gmail.com and then listen in every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. right here on Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network. That's patsy.radio@gmail.com.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, inviting you to join me and Jason Alessi for the home team every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter. Special guests, prizes, and your phone calls about the Bucs, Lightning, Rays, USF, Sun, FSU, Florida, and more. Talk to you this Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Tampa Bay Sun have won the USL Super League Championship.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The home team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the home team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Are you ready for some football? A Monday night party!
We are ready for every night party now.
I know.
Saturday
every day
night,
party.
Sunday night, Monday night.
Yep. Famous Hank Williams Jr. I know. We are ready for some football.
I'm already jacked up. I'm ready to go home and start watching. Let's go.
Yes, it is. Welcome back to the second hour of the home team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields, and we are talking a lot of college football this weekend, among other things. And we want you to call in and if you want to bring up another topic too about the Bucs, about the Rays, about the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're not that far off from hockey season beginning as well, but. It's an exciting time of the year. March, you want to go back to
we got
Facebook?
Probably the most dedicated Facebook listener I've ever seen come up here. It says, Kirk is listening from an African safari and we'll try to call in next week if he's in a lodge. So that's a dedicated guy right there.
Believe it. How exciting is that? I mean, a real deal African safari. I've been on one of those too, but it's at Disney's the Animal Kingdom.
Why am I not surprised that that's about the biggest safari you'll ever go on?
That is. We like it though, but no, Kirsch's doing the real deal. Well, that's exciting, my friend. You know, I forgot to get in the top of the hour trivia question. So let me give that out right now. And I think given that it's the return of college football, I felt it would be best to to do it regarding college football. The question is, what was the first conference that USF joined as an FBS football program? Of course, FBS being the Football Bowl subdivision, that's the top tier of college football, the top level. It used to be called Division 1A, and the division lower than that was Division 1AA for years. Now the lower division is called the FCS. But when USF moved and finally became an FBS football team, what was the very first conference they were in? So that's a trivia question. So if anyone wants to, you can call in or answer it on Facebook, and that'll continue our trivia questions. To see who gets the most of that. But going back again to the games, of course, the big game coming up. What do you think about this Texas-Ohio State game? That's 1 versus 3 matchup. It's going to be at 12 o'clock noon. That's where we're watching in studio the College Game Day right here. And
well, I tell you what, I mean, can you find a better matchup to kick off the season with? I mean, you had 2 top powerhouses. You got all kinds of tradition. You got the Arch Manning saga. This is his first start going on the road to the defending national champs.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
just some kind of hype around this game.
Pressure when you got the name Manning, and he got a couple of chances to play last year. I know Brock Hewers was the Texas quarterback last year, but now it's Manning's turn, and all sorts of pressure on him to perform. And what a game right off the bat. And against, again, Ohio State, the defending national champions.
Yeah, that's what I said. You can't get a better start to college football. You got everything happening today.
This, I do think, is one of the things. I was not in favor for a while of them expanding the playoffs, but the one advantage for an expanded playoff is you have more programs willing to take risks early in the season in scheduling other top-notch programs. Used to never see these kind of matchups on opening week before.
Well, this type of matchup here, it doesn't hurt either team. Yeah. It doesn't hurt either team, because if one of these teams, whoever loses is probably going to be one of the best teams and stay right there. Yeah. So that loss on your resume is going to help you.
Well, yes, although it does make your margin for error smaller then, because now you might not necessarily be able to afford to lose another game, or certainly not that many more after that. So that's a factor too. Well, let's go to the phone line. So we got Anthony with us on the line. Anthony, welcome to the home team.
Hey, good morning, guys. And hey, Marshall, good to hear you.
Good morning, buddy. We were just talking about you. I was hoping you were going to call today.
Yeah. Hey, first off, does it look more positively that the Rays are going to be staying in St. Petersburg? It seems like the ideal, because if they're going to put that money into fixing the trop, it makes a lot more sense just to keep the team there. I mean, because from what I've seen, the areas that they've been speaking about by the stadium and then downtown and Ybor.
Right, the Gaslight District in St. Pete, may come to be a fruition again. You're right. I like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, if they can spruce up a little bit more businesses around there, I think it'll be ideal. Because, I mean, to start from scratch in Tampa, it just doesn't make sense. I think the team's identity would be sort of removed. And
I don't know, and I still think that you'd have a better chance of getting better crowds if the stadium was in Tampa. I just think that's where more people are. That's where more people would come to the games. I mean, again, you will wait and see. Baseball is unique in the sense that it plays so many more games than the other sports. So there's a lot of games. And obviously, you're not going to have a packed house every single game. That's just not going to happen. But I think if they got it in Tampa at a decent location somewhere, I think they'd have a better chance. They do better crowds than necessarily in St. Pete. And the only reason I say that again is because they've been in St. Pete all these years, at the Trop, and they just haven't drawn. And that's even with having good winning teams that have made the playoffs.
I think it comes down to not St. Pete or Tampa. And I can't disagree with it that they might do better in Tampa, but we just have no mass transit in this area. The mass transit here is terrible. You have no mass transit. Right. If you did, you'd have 10,000 more people at a game. I guarantee it. If you did, if you made it easy for people to get over the bridge, if we had trains, if we had monorail, we had something like that, it would be so much easier to go to games. And I think you'd have way bigger crowds on either side.
If it's in Tampa or around Channel Side, if it's in an area where there are people and there's something going on, I think that helps. Right now, where the Trop is, there's nothing around it. I know they've talked about the project was to build up around it, but until they do build around it, what do you have there? You've got nothing. And I think that kind of hurts it as well.
But let's face it, though, downtown Tampa is not exactly a huge metropolis for people.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be different
But
if we had transportation.
But you got the Lightning down there. Okay, they packed the place. I mean, so you've got. I don't know. I just think the area might be better. I really, from all I've heard, I've heard that they're looking that they prefer it in Tampa. I haven't heard anything else that's developed since then. I'm sure that I think it would be wise for the new owners to explore all options. Including St. Pete, including reevaluating the deal that they had with the Trop to redevelop the land there. They needed to look at every option before they make a decision. But from what I've heard that they prefer to be in Tampa.
Well, let me take it to the point that you brought up in the past, that Tampa is not a baseball enthusiastic area, because you mentioned that people would drive from Tampa to see the hockey game, the Lightning, when it first started off.
That's right.
After they played at the Expo for those one season, and people were flocking to the Thunderdome. So if there's no, there's no interest in baseball. It's like I kept thinking that it's just a novelty. It's just it's a passing experience. But it's not something that really catches on. Hasn't really caught on. The dismal turnouts in between opening day and possibly closing day, it just doesn't. And so moving into Tampa is not guaranteed. And then again, downtown is still pretty much a podunk environment. I mean, they're developing here and there, but it just doesn't show. There's not that life.
Yeah,
that you would find in other areas around
you're
the
right.
country.
It's not Nashville. It's not Miami.
The thing, Anthony, about baseball, the issue is baseball is a sport that has gone down in popularity. And I think that's because the younger generation just views it as a slow-moving sport. It doesn't have the type of excitement when you go to it, like a hockey game or a football game or a basketball game. It doesn't move at that pace. The crowd is not as into it. It's almost more of a casual, relaxed. People at a baseball game that can just kind of be talking amongst themselves and not really even be paying attention to the game because it moves at such a slow pace.
It's also 80 games. It's just
and the fact that they play so many.
80 games.
And maybe it would be different if the Rays were the only major professional sports team in the area, and let's say we didn't have the Bucks or we didn't have the Lightning, but we do have them, and a lot of people here spend money on those. So I think that kind of plays a factor too, and it may not be a true baseball market, but I'm glad that the new ownership is looking to keep them there. From a selfish point of view, I want to have a team here to stay. And so we'll see what happens with it. Anthony, we're running into a break, but let me, if you don't mind, you want to get in the contest for Alabama, Florida State?
Yeah. I would say there's 5 teams that would give the Bucks a good run, and that's besides Atlanta, I'd say Philadelphia, New England, Detroit.
I don't think New England this year.
You don't think so?
No. The Patriots are in rebuilding mode pretty much. They got a good young quarterback in Drake May, but they're kind of still. I don't know about them, but there's others. Certainly the Bucks.
Yeah. My quick red: don't underestimate any team. That's what I'm hoping the Bucks will play to any team that they see like a weak opponent.
Right.
That can be their downfall. I'm gonna. So
it's Alabama versus Florida State.
Yeah, if Florida State hadn't shot off their mouths, I would have probably gone for Florida State. But it just seems like a bad starting point for them if that's what they're gonna
totally
base
agree.
it on.
Totally
so
agree.
I'm gonna say 34-21 Alabama.
Okay, and at halftime.
And I'm going to say 14-0 Alabama halftime.
Got it. All right, Anthony.
Always great talking to you, buddy.
Great comments.
Take care, Mark. Take care, Jason.
Talk to you next week. Yeah. And I want to mention real quick to our trivia question, RCM got the answer correct. It was Conference USA. So USF, when they first became an FBS FBS football program, they began playing Conference USA. They played there in 2003 and then in 2004 before joining the Big East in 2005. And of course,
several people actually guessed the Sun Belt, and I actually guessed the Big East.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
and I think they were in the Sun Belt in basketball for a period of time.
Holy cow! If you aren't watching, go on ESPN and watch the food they're bringing out.
Oh boy!
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yep.
Crab claws and tomahawk ribeyes. Holy cow!
Yeah, and I don't know if this is the headgear or if it's a cake in the shape of Brutus the Buckeye.
No, that's a cake.
That's a cake from shaped like Brutus the Buckeye.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy! If I could jump through the TV, we'll see. We got to hit a break here. We're going to salivate during the break here. But hey, I'll give it the phone numbers: 727-441-3000. We'll be back right after this on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350. FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. The Clearwater Threshers invite minor league baseball fans 55 and up to join our Silver Shark Seniors Club, presented by Baycare. Members receive a free ticket, parking, and more to Silver Sharks Wednesday home games at Baycare Ballpark this summer. Don't miss the exclusive Threshers Visor and Clear Stadium bag, plus Team Store and Tiki Bar discounts. Wednesday Clearwater Thresher games, discounts, and much more. All for only $30 with our Silver Shark Senior Club membership. Visit threshersbaseball.com for more information and sign up today. I have great news. Vienna all-beef hot dogs and delicious Hershey's ice cream are once again back in Pinellas County. What once was Daddy Dogs is now Joe's Hot Dogs under new ownership, right at the corner of 580 and McMullen Booth Road in Safety Harbor. The best hot dog in the world, Vienna all-beef, with any toppings you like, is back in Pinellas County. Joe's Hot Dogs is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 to 7. Mention the Home Team and get 20% off your bill. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, from clothing by AFCO and Skinny Water Culture to Shimano and Daiwa Reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo. Online at customfishing.com.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity in Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Now more of the home team with Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
And welcome back to the Father and Sons Windows and Doors home team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields. And I want to mention we got in the score from Kirk, who's calling from the Safari in Africa. 43-17, he's got Alabama winning, and 21-7.5. Boy, not looking good, sounding good for Florida State by these scores. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to end up winning the contest because I'm going to take Florida State. But anyway, if Florida State was ever going to win, it's set up. It couldn't be set up any better. They're a big home dog. They got a new quarterback, new coaching staff. They have some talent. They could win at home. Alabama's hurting. They got a brand new quarterback. They got their starting running backs out. They got 3 or 4 starters on defense that are out injured. If it was ever going to happen, this is the setup for it to happen. Yeah. I don't know if it will happen, but momentum could shift. Like if Florida State can get up and play with some confidence, this could be really interesting.
I think it's going to be a close game. I do. I don't look at Alabama blowing them out. I think Florida State's going to keep it close through much of the game, and if they do that, they're going to have a chance to win it late in the game. We'll see. It's going to be a different Florida. Well, it's got to be a different Florida State team given the disaster that was last year. But of course, they've got a lot of new players transferring in, including the quarterback. And I guess that's the one thing going back to the whole issue with the transfer in the new way college football is. If you were bad the previous year, you've got a chance to turn it around in a hurry by getting in a lot of new players. But what's interesting is, we saw last year, I think Florida State felt they were getting some good new players, certainly a quarterback. They had the DJ Uiagalelei, who had been at top programs like Clemson and had been, I guess you could say, decent. But the players they brought in obviously didn't gel at all. There was no chemistry at all.
They couldn't make it fit.
And so you went from being a team that went undefeated in the regular season the previous year to being a team that goes 2-10. And I still think a lot of people are perplexed about how that happened.
Well, I think that the thing I'm most curious to see is Gus Malzahn is now calling the plays and is the offensive coordinator, and Mike Norvell has given up play calling. And I think that's good for the team. I think that's good for Mike to be able to concentrate on the game. He's got a proven guy in Malzahn that knows how to call offense. We'll see what happens. You got Tony White, new defensive coordinator, wants to run an attacking style defense, which is what Florida State is all when they're good, that's what they do. So, hopefully I just think they'll be better coached, and I think they'll make some mistakes in the game. That's going to happen always. But I tell you what, I was talking to you a little bit earlier about USF. And it's really hard, I think, to come out and look like they did in the first game. They looked like they were playing in their 6th or 7th game of the season.
Yeah, and again,
that was credit to the coaching staff.
It did start out a little sloppy, and we see that sometimes. Early on, there were some penalties, some miscues, but they got that together. And then once they got the lead, they were down 7-0, but they were 10-7, and that fake punt that just energized everyone, and it seemed to really deflate Boise State when that happened. I mean, it's one thing to get a fake punt and pick up a first down to keep the drive going. It's another thing on the fake punt to have the punter, who of course was the backup quarterback, throw a bomb that scores a touchdown on the play. That's just something you don't see very often, and that just. I mean, everyone is on cloud 9 after that for USF.
Yeah, and I got a comment here from Kirk who says you can't fix bad in 1 week. Maybe if they were playing Western Illinois or something like that, but we'll see. I mean, I think problems can be fixed quicker with the transfer portal and everything else like now, that you can make all your ills go away, or you can create more ills. Real quick.
Well, and Castellanos opening up his
That's
mouth.
What I said. Real quick.
You know,
you're into the fire today, buddy.
You remember the story? Now, this is going out. A lot of people are not going to know anything about this, but one of my old Super Bowl videotapes on the VHS I used to watch all the time. Super Bowl I, there was a cornerback for the Kansas City. Fred the Hammer was a Richards or Rogers or something, but was talking all sorts of smack about what he was going to do. He was going to knock out the Green Bay receivers in the game. And mind you, this is NFL versus AFL. The Packers were a big favorite. Well, lo and behold, guess who got knocked out of the game?
Yeah. I mean,
Fred the Hammer. The Hammer got hammered. And
I know you want to fire your team up.
Got a knee to his head and got knocked out of the game.
I know you want to fire your team up and do some things like that, but sometimes you got to be a little smarter than that. Yeah, I think. And then let your talking be done on the field.
Well, who can forget? We mentioned this off the air. Matt Hasselbeck's famous overtime beginning. We want the ball and we're going to score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got the ball, but the other team scored on a pick six, and that was it. Well, the Seattle
just
versus
to confirm, Fred the Hammer was Fred the Hammer Williamson.
Williamson. It was Fred something. I said Fred Rogers, but no, that was Mr. Rogers.
Yeah,
Fred the Hammer Williamson.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a story.
I was going to let you go with it. You were rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was and I guess Hank Stram, who was a coach of the Chiefs, that drove him nuts because he felt that they were confident, but you can't just run your mouth out like that and then you put bulletin board material. So we'll see. But a big game. Yeah, you mentioned again the fact that like Texas and Ohio State or Clemson and LSU and all these other big matchups, the loser, it's not over.
Right.
But you do have less of margin for error. Now we're seeing where if you lose 2 games, you could still get in the playoff. You know what I don't want to see happen is the idea that now you could lose 3 games and still get in the playoffs. And what I don't want to see happen is a 3-loss team from one of the power conferences get in over an undefeated team from one of the non-power conferences. I think that would completely be wrong. To me, that's not right at all. It still is impressive to me to go undefeated, even regardless of who you play, because even if you don't beat any ranked teams, you're still playing good football teams. Not all top 25 team or you don't have to be in the top 25 to be a good football team, in my opinion. If you have a good record, if you're 8-4, 9-3, that you're a good football team. The point that I'm trying to make is to go undefeated throughout the course of a regular season and then to win the conference championship game, which all conferences have them now. That is an impressive feat. And unless there's just so many undefeated teams ahead of you, which is not going to be, the whole purpose of the expanded playoff going to 12 teams was to give those programs an opportunity, like a USF that plays in an American conference, or one of the teams that plays in Conference USA or Mountain West, what have you, an opportunity to get in to show what they can do against the bigger programs.
The only thing I'll say, I kind of like where you're coming from there, but the only thing I'll say is if you do happen, your 3 losses happen to be to 3 teams, let's say they're in the top 6. Okay, well then I'd have to have a legit argument. Like if you beat everybody else, but you lost to let's say you lost to Ohio State, Oregon, and LSU or something like that, and that was your 3 losses, and they were all close games or whatever. I'm just saying it could happen, but I understand where you're coming from.
3 losses.
We want to see the teams that have put together that miracle season and see if they have a chance to get in there and really do something.
And the only way you're going to give them the chance is if they do it on the you show them on the field against one of the better teams.
But they have it set up now that can happen.
That can happen.
And that's a good thing.
We're going to hit another break here, but give it the phone numbers again. Please call in 727 441-3000, the 727-441-3000. We will be back right after this on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
I have great news. Vienna all-beef hot dogs and delicious Hershey's ice cream are once again back in Pinellas County. What once was Daddy Dogs is now Joe's Hot Dogs under new ownership, right at the corner of 580 and McMullen Booth Road in Safety Harbor. The best hot dog in the world, Vienna all-beef, with any toppings you like, is back in Pinellas County. Joe's Hot Dogs is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 to 7. Mention the home team and get 20% off your bill. You don't have to wait any longer or travel to Tampa to get the best hot dog in the world, Vienna all-beef hot dogs. Not to mention delicious Hershey's ice cream in a wide variety of flavors. Joe's Hot Dogs at the corner of McMullen Booth Road and State Route 580 in Safety Harbor. Mention the home team and save 20%. Check them out on Facebook. Just search Joe's Hot Dogs. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Looking to elevate your brand with custom apparel? Look no further than Athletic House, your one-stop shop for screen printing and embroidery in Clearwater. Whether you need embroidery on your polos or full-color logos screen printed on T-shirts, our expert team will bring your vision to life with precision and quality. Family-owned and operated for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on the personal attention we give to all our customers. Making your team look good is our business. Athletic House. Call us today for a quote.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
And welcome back to the home team. This is Jason Alessi along with Marshall O'Shields. And
what can be better than talking college football? And
Yes.
you might as well just give us some stuff that we can go pick up and take home for our parties today, because I plan on staying home from about noon till about midnight, just sitting there watching college football and eating. So
that's
go
right.
right ahead. You got to have something going on.
Segues into the specials at Alessi Bakery, which, we got to, let's see, this week we've got our buy one, get one frees, our regular fudge brownies, our strawberry masood cakes, and our assorted jumbo cupcakes. They do the bigger cupcakes with a whole bunch of unique flavors. They have like a s'mores one. They have a chocolate Oreo, a guava fruit. They have a whole bunch of great cupcakes there, but all those are buy one, get one free. That'll be for today and tomorrow. And then starting next week on Monday, September 1st through next Sunday, our sfigadelle pastry. That's a very popular Italian pastry. Sweet ricotta cheese, light citrus fruit mixed in, a kind of a crispy phyllo dough shell. Almost looks like a clam shell, but with powdered sugar on top. Very good. The sfigadelles are buy one, get one free. Our banana custard parfaits, outstanding. Banana cake, custard, and whipped cream on top. Buy one, get one free. And then we're also going to do our assorted decorated iced cookies. A whole bunch of those. And, any shape of the cookies. Smiley faces. We do some that look like starfish or others. Those will be buy one, get one free as well. So that'll be starting next Monday through Sunday. And, of course, at Alessi Bakery, we always have a variety of wonderful items. Guava turnovers, apple turnovers, eclairs, Napoleons. We have great sandwiches in our deli, Cuban sandwiches, Reubens, burgers, Italian subs, and wonderful hot entrees, chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, and picadillo meals, and our famous scacciata pizza, our cold meat pizza in different size boxes.
How are we doing on the new location?
The new locations, it's coming along nicely. I think it might be the earlier part of next year. There's still a lot to get it done. We don't want to rush it. We want everything to be right. Make sure all the equipment
for the Christmas party this year.
I know. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get in there later this year, so we'll see how it goes. But it might be later on in the early part of next year. But when it does get finished, it's going to be spectacular. There's going to be a specialty gourmet pizza section. There's going to be a wine liquor bar. There's going to be a rotisserie chicken section. All sorts of hot meals. Lots more showcases. Larger deli. Larger decorating.
Any chance of a Pinellas County location, maybe? In the future?
not yet, but down the road, who knows? But Alessi Baker, we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays 9 to 4. Just note that this Labor Day, this Monday, we'll be closing early at 3 p.m. So just to let you know, this Labor Day on Monday, we'll be closing at 3, but we're located at 2909 West Cypress Street, in between MacDill and Armenia.
And so how far is the new location from the old location?
Within walking distance, a couple blocks down. The old Tampa Letter Carriers building. I know if a lot of people went to a lot of dances, a lot of wedding receptions through the years there. It's a lot of history there, but we're proud to have that be our new home. Coming soon at some point, either later this year or early next year, should be ready.
Good stuff.
So we're excited about that. Yes, it is. And because we've got College Game Day here in the studio. We're watching more tributes to Lalique Corso through the years. It's it's exciting. It's funny, and it's amazing again how the game day has evolved into just massive crowds out there.
That's the biggest one I've ever seen. I don't know if they've announced it because we don't have sound, but I've been watching a long time and I've never seen a crowd like this.
No. Of course, it's at Ohio State there at the old Horseshoe. But when they go on the road to different programs, to different teams, the spot where the game is, it's an event. It's an event, and everyone tries to get out there early and show your support. And of course, this game is going to be starting right after it. I mean, really at 12 o'clock noon.
Yeah, how crazy is that? All the people out there, they're going to file into the stadium all at the same time.
that's a big event. We got, let's switch just briefly and talk about the Bucks. In light of the Micah Parsons situation, the trade, do you think that the Bucks missed an opportunity in possibly getting Micah Parsons, or do you worry about that the price might have been too steep there?
I think what it did was it created another team in the conference that's going to give them a run. The Packers were kind of that team that was on the verge a little bit the last couple of years, and they look like they're the up and coming team. Defense had hurt them a little bit, and this could be that move. I mean, two first round picks that's a big give up. You got to be confident that you're going to be good for the next few years when you go get a guy like that. I think the Bucks would have been okay with it. I'm curious to know if they were even thinking about it or in the running for it.
I heard their names before the trade happened. I heard several broadcasters mention their name as being a team that possibly would look into that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I almost wish he went to the AFC. Like I wish he went to another team that the Bucks wouldn't have to worry about. But that's I think that puts the Packers right in there, with the Eagles and with the Redskins and with the Bucks and with the Lions and maybe the Niners, maybe the Rams. I mean, they're all kind of bunched in there this year. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite. Philly coming back, can they pull off the same year as they did last year? I don't know, but I think this definitely elevates the Packers into the conversation.
There's certainly, and the Packers have been a playoff team the last couple of years. Obviously, injuries are such a key factor for every team, and it's not a matter of if, but when and who it's going to be, and it's unfortunate because obviously those things are what can derail the season for any team. You don't want it to happen to anyone, but you don't know how it's going to happen. But again, if the Bucks can stay healthy, I'm looking at those players on defense. I'm looking at Hassan Reddick. He's kind of playing on a 1-year contract. He had success in Philadelphia. Didn't do much of anything with the Jets, but
the one thing that kind of went under the radar, I have to mention, and I really like it, was the fact of this shortening the preseason. I thought it was outstanding. It was way better to not have that one last preseason game where nobody's really playing and nobody really cares.
Yeah, they've done that a couple of years. They've done it since 2021. Of course, they added the game onto the regular season. They have 17 games. I'll be honest with you. I'm at the point I almost wish they would have no preseason
I am
game.
too.
I mean, I get it. I get it for the evaluation for the players that you don't know who's going to make the team, who's going to make the final cut, and for the younger players who have no NFL experience, you want to get them out some to give them a chance to.
I'll say this: some of the other teams do it different. I mean, I saw Joe Burrow playing into the third quarter of a game.
Well, Andy Reid plays his guys. It's different philosophies, but I think a lot of teams nowadays they view it practice is enough. What I see in practice against kind of scrimmages against other teams, that's all we want. Let's stay healthy.
And
let's get on to the regular season
now. It's a long season.
It is. So we're going to hit another break. I believe this is our final break, and we'll be back after this. Let me give out the phone numbers one more time: 727-441-3000. We'll be back on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Beach Dogs Friday are back this summer. On the last Friday home game of the month, the Clearwater Threshers become their alternate identity, the Clearwater Beach Dogs. Presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Beach Dog Fridays are dog-friendly, and each dog ticket benefits a local pet charity each month. Bring your pup to play on the berm, eat a hot dog, and maybe meet our bat dog, Lucy May. Dog tickets are available for purchase in person at the Baycare Ballpark box office All other tickets are available at treasuresbaseball.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
And welcome back. Final segment of the home team. Jason Alessi and Marshall O'Shields here. Want to mention an interesting comment from David on Facebook. Said Desmond Watson, of course, the former Florida Gator lineman who the Bucs had picked up undrafted and released and cut, apparently is now bad-mouthing the Bucs. You know, the comment is, he got paid to work out and lose some weight, and now he's complaining about it, which, hey, look, sometimes, especially if you're an undrafted free agent, it's going to work and maybe it won't. But the one thing about it, you don't want to get a bad attitude and then you get a reputation. That word of mouth it spreads quickly that maybe you're more trouble than you're worth. I don't know Desmond Watson, a good player at Florida, but obviously he was not in playing shape. Certainly not for the NFL level. He needed to lose weight, and it might have been a long shot anyway. But you don't want to turn around and then start running your mouth.
I don't think you're helping yourself.
No,
I don't think the best thing you can do is get get in shape and go back for another team and have a tryout, but not come back with a reputation.
Not with a reputation, and again, you saw, they had Shiloh Sanders, Deion's son, who was the cornerback, was an undrafted free agent. He played some in the preseason. It didn't work out. I know there was the incident at the end when he got ejected for throwing a punch, but I don't think he was going to make the team anyway. There was a lot of depth at that area, but I think as a player, that's.
But why are you stupid enough to throw a punch and ruin the opportunity to put something on film?
Yeah,
that was his opportunity. He was going to play a lot, and he gets thrown out in the first quarter.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
You got to keep your composure, but and it happens sometimes. And guys, it's about you getting an opportunity, making the most of that. And sometimes it takes some luck. You got to get your chance to get out there, and sometimes it might come through injury or just coach gives you an opportunity and you see what you got. But that happens. But listen, we're excited. We've got football coming up. It's going to be Texas Ohio State coming up at noon. Then later on, the Florida State Alabama game will be at 3:30. You've got
LSU,
Clemson at 7:30 tonight,
which is going to be a very, very good game as well. And Cade Klubnik and Clemson are definitely a team that can hang around all year and probably can make some noise in the national picture. And Dabo Swinney always seems to be able to do what it takes to win. So looking forward to that one tonight too.
Absolutely. And then of course tomorrow, the big one at night, Miami, Notre Dame, return of the Catholics versus convicts. And that whole rivalry there, going back from the late 80s, and Monday night, Bill Belichick. What's he got left? Can he do it at college? Obviously we know what he did at the pros.
Yeah, I tell you what, the NCAA TV did a great job of hooking up all the stories for one weekend. I mean, you don't get much better than that. But I want to thank Donald, John, and Anthony for calling in. We always appreciate it, and a lot of listeners on Facebook. We really appreciate you chiming in and giving us your thoughts and everything. And let's have just an amazing. Oh, and the guy just made the kick on. He just made the McAfee kick. That was awesome. I mean, it was right down the middle. Glenn Powell's got him celebrating with him now. The guest picker and everything.
I've seen some of those go just into the stand. I mean, into the crowds. Kind of like a foul ball.
Herb Street was holding. The whole Ohio State connection there. You got to love that.
That is good. That is good. And which Paul is going to be back next week. I'll be out, but he's going to be in with Matt and Jacob Noyes. So that's going to be.
And I'm calling my contest win. So I'm going to go.
Let's go right here, Marshall. Let's start with you.
I'm going to take FSU to win.
Okay.
I'm going to take them 27-24.
Let's do 27-24.
Doesn't really matter what the score is since I'm the only one that's picking them.
Yeah, well, you never know. It could be Matt, but
I don't think so. You guys aren't eligible anyway.
Yeah, no.
So it doesn't matter.
And just out of what for the half?
Halftime we'll go 17-14 FSU.
Got it. Okay. How about Matt? What do you?
All right, I agree on the halftime score, 17-14 FSU.
Okay.
Alabama comes back and wins it 27-17.
So you got a 27-17.
Alabama.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Alabama. Although I would like to see Florida State win, but I don't know that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go 31-24. I think it's gonna be a close, competitive game throughout, but I'll go with Alabama 31-24, and I'll say Alabama is up at halftime, 17-10. So. We'll see. That's our pick. We'll see who wins that. And
does Florida play today?
Florida,
they do.
Long Island.
Long Island.
Another one, Matt's team. Matt, you should have worn a Long Island. You should have worn a Long Island jersey.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't realize Long Island University actually had a football team. The only Long Island school I knew that had college football was Stony Brook.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Matt, show us your knowledge. What's their mascot? Because I have no idea.
Honestly, I'm not even sure. I really don't know.
Way to go, Gators.
Start off with a tough one. Long Island is the Amityville Horror.
Yeah, the Amityville Horror House. They're the Sharks.
Yeah, all I want to know is how much they got paid for coming down to get slaughtered by Florida. But you got to love that.
Just to clarify, Long Island University, they're the Sharks.
Okay. The Gators are the Sharks.
There you go.
Yep.
Boy. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't know.
I know teams get a payday, but to me that's not right. That's just what that is a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best you can do, Florida. That's all I'm saying.
But
That's
at the same time, remember what Appalachian State did all those years ago against Michigan?
That's a different story, though.
Okay.
Appalachian State
It's been a long time good program.
North Dakota State too is always a long time very good.
Fresno
Division
State,
I
teams like that, you don't want to play them. You just don't want to play them.
But this is another story. I think Florida, what is it? They're 45.5-point favorite, 99% chance of winning. Might as well make it 100.
It was almost 45-point favorites.
Yeah. Well, good. You know what I'll say for Florida?
What?
Enjoy beating up on a team like that because you got the Bulls coming next week. You're going to get yours. We'll see. You schedule cookie? Yeah. Okay. No, they
just better be ready to play. Like I said, I could see starting off with somebody, but really, Long Island.
The schedule for Florida doesn't get easier after this because after today it's USF next week at LSU. At Miami and home to Texas.
Well, I'm talking about another coach on the hot seat, too. I mean,
1-4.
Napier.
I love it. 1-4.
Yeah, he's got to do it this year. That's it for him. Big time. But listen, Marshall, it's been a pleasure. Always good having you on, especially talking college football to start this season. We're going to go. It's going to be a buffet today. I mean, in every way. I'm going to go home. I'm just going to be glued to the TV game after game after game. The one thing let's hope the games live up to the hype.
Well, they have so far, which has been great.
I don't want to see a blowout. I want to see good competitive games. That would just make it even better.
Yeah, I mean, and what better way to start the day? A lot of people were complaining and wishing this game was at night, but I'm good with the LSU Clemson game at night, and I'm good with starting at noon with the top matchup of the day.
We used to see that all the time.
That's great.
The top games were right at there at noon. So
that's the best thing ever. Well, noon, let's go.
Big time. And of course, next week we got the start of the NFL. Well, actually, it'll be Thursday, the start of the NFL season, the first game.
And Friday
in Dallas.
They got a
Friday night game too. Bucks will be playing next week against the Atlanta Falcons. But listen, thank you for your calls today. We will be back next week. Paul will be back with Matt and Jacob Noyes. I will make an attempt to call in right here on the Father and Sons Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and as always, Facebook
Live.